How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It helps out, means a ton. You guys get plenty of fun stuff. Actually, in fact, I have a foolproof plan. At least, for me. I bet you, if you are not already subscribed, that you will not subscribe on this video. Now, I know somebody's looking at me weird, like, what are you doing? Hang on, let me explain this real quick. Either one, you don't want to lose that bet, and you subscribe to the channel, and I get another subscriber. Or, you just don't care, and you're like, alright, fine, I'm not going to hit the subscribe. And then I win the bet. So I'm either getting subscribers, or I'm winning bets. But with that being said, we're going to get right into it today, because this chapter was fun. I think it slightly suffered from Kaiju number 8's kind of almost standard at this pace. This is going to make it sound really bad, but I don't mean it in a literal way. Kind of Michael Bay pacing. This story feels like a good Michael Bay movie to me. It's a lot of big panels of really good bombastic art, but that causes some chapters to not have a ton of stuff fleshed out, a ton of dialogue, a ton of things explained, a ton of new information given, a lot of that kind of stuff. But that's okay, it's a battle manga, these are just hype chapters. Unfortunately, it does make them go by a little bit quick sometimes, even if they are close to standard length, if not standard length. So, with that out of the way, I had a lot of fun reading this chapter. I don't care if it went by fast, it was fun. However, we're going to get to something here in just a sec that I was so disappointed with, but we'll get to it. So, picking up where we left off last time, Kafka is still going out of control, and Shinomiya, the Director General, kind of underestimated Kaiju number 8's abilities, and he's starting to get overwhelmed a little bit. So Kaiju number 8 comes in with a big right hand, and at first I couldn't see Shinomiya. I thought he just got hit. But you can actually see him dodging either through Kaiju number 8's legs, or just over to the right of Kaiju number 8. I couldn't tell exactly which one. It kind of looks like he's going through his legs almost, because, well, Kaiju number 8's kind of like massive in this chapter. I don't know if he's like growing in size because he's going out of control or what, but I don't remember Kafka being like this tall. He is like towering over Shinomiya. But anyway, Shinomiya gives us another new technique called Twin Blast, and I'm a sucker for this because I love any time in any anime, manga, martial art movie, anything, when somebody does that like twin punch. I'm a sucker for that. I have always loved that move. Unfortunately for Shinomiya, however, this does literally absolutely nothing to Kafka, and he gets smoked with, I was going to call it an uppercut, but it's kind of an undercut. He never really went up with it, because, you know, he's like twice the size of not even twice the size. He's like 4 or 5 times the size of the person he's fighting. So an uppercut becomes an undercut, because you never go up with it. Anyway, this actually kind of smacks the crap out of Shinomiya, because he ended up using shield maximum output, and he blocked it with both of his arms, and his eyes still went white. He didn't go down from it, and he actually kind of leads into the part of the chapter that was severely disappointing to me. Still cool, but severely disappointing. He clashes his fists together, pulls them apart, and makes this huge electricity arc. And you see this image of Kaiju number 2's head forming this giant ball of electricity. Now, I didn't think Kaiju number 2's head was actually there. I did, however, think the energy ball was there. I thought Shinomiya and it might have been, I guess, but Shinomiya clashed his fists together and then pulled them apart, and this energy arc goes up towards this ball. I thought he was gonna like clash them back together or like punch, and we were gonna get this classic anime manga moment where you see this electricity, energy, ki, chakra, whatever ball just flying at somebody, and it's just tearing the ground up as it flies past and then slams into them. And we get one little arc of electricity just on the ground and then smacking Kafka. What happened to what happened to the huge electricity ball that was floating up there? Why didn't that thing go fly at him? So yeah, I guess the ball wasn't actually there either. It was just the fist clash, pull apart, and electricity arcs from the fists into a point and then just runs along the ground in one little arc. Anyway, it was still cool. It was still cool. So anyway, moving on. Kafka gets smacked by the lightning, absolutely tanks it and just does his like Hulk scream, sonic boom thing, grabs Shinomiya and slams him into the wall. I know I keep saying Kafka, this isn't Kafka doing this stuff, it's just Kaiju number 8. And Kafka's still screaming from inside, trapped in there, saying, stop it, if I keep going, I'm gonna be the reason that General Shinomiya ends up dead. But right as he's thinking that, he looks up and sees Kikaru, and he tells himself, he goes, screw all that, I'm not gonna kill her dad right in front of her. He goes, that's not gonna be me. And then we cut back over to Kikaru's side, and she's thinking the same thing she's been thinking. She's still having this debate inside of her head of, I want to save my dad, but if I do that, that is me condemning Kafka, and I can't do that. If somebody else has to help one of the strongest people we have, we can't trust you. If he can't keep you on a leash, nobody can keep you on a leash. If you go crazy, you will murder people. That's the thing. So she cannot step in and stop this, no matter how much she wants to, because if she does, it's immediately condemning Kafka. But as she's thinking this, we cut back inside to Kafka, and he's finally able to break free. And then the little kaiju dude turns out is not so little when you're on the inside, and he swallows Kafka in one bite, cutting both of his feet off. What just happened? What is going on with this little dude? Seriously, I guess he just really doesn't want to give up the body right now. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. But it was kind of sad because we have Kafka thinking to himself once he sees the jaws coming down. He's like, I'm always like this. I always screw up when it matters. And it's like, oh, damn, I kind of felt that, buddy. Like, chill, Kafka. But then here's where we get something really interesting for General Shinomiya's character going forward in the future. He's sitting there seeing Kaiju number 8's fist come at him. He's sitting there, he's pretty well down. He's not really able to defend himself that well. If this punch lands, this is probably the end. And he says, I was hopeful, but I see all is lost. I think we're actually going to kind of end up liking Shinomiya in a certain way. I think he's actually going to end up being a very good character. And this gives us a lot of insight into exactly what he was doing here. This was a test. We all thought he was looking at this from a very base level perspective, like your classic old head shonen type of dude perspective. And we've been getting more into that, and we had already realized that no, he was thinking more into this. He did have an idea. He does have plans. He thought really into this. He could tell. And he knew that if Kafka was able to keep control of this form, this could be one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful asset the Defense Force has on their side, if he can control it. Shinomiya was simply skeptical. He needed proof. He needs to see it with his own eyes. He needed to test Kafka himself. He didn't just immediately think, oh no, gotta dispose him, he's Kaiju. No, he said, okay, he can turn into a Kaiju. That's a little weird. But he did protect people in the base. And he hasn't immediately tried to break out of the seed either. He's staying around letting us do our tests. And he's incredibly powerful. He was putting all these dots together inside of his head. He ain't dumb, he's smart. He knew what he was doing. This is all just a test. I think the director is going to be a much better character than some of us, including myself, gave him credit for at first. And I'm happy about that. But then, one of the best parts of the chapter, Kafka remembers Mina. And that is what finally snaps him out of it. The thought of Mina telling him that she'll be waiting when she was taking him to the maritime base, when he asked her if he could still be by her side. And after remembering Mina, after remembering all that, he jams his own heart in his own chest, probably in his own heart, because, well, I'm assuming that was one of the only ways to really snap himself out of it, snap into the body, get Kaiju number 8 out of control, stop Kaiju number 8 in its tracks, because remember, Kaiju number 8 was kind of in the middle of trying to take Shinomiya's head off when Kafka regained control at the last second. But then we get this final panel where you can see Kafka's smile coming through the teeth of Kaiju number 8. The mask is starting to fall off on one side, and you can see the smile and the eye come through. And he says, I'm not Kaiju number 8. I'm Kafka Hibino. That was a really awesome end to the chapter. I think the really great detail was seeing his smile come through. With his own hand inside of his own heart, after having his body literally ripped to shreds inside of his own bigger body, he still has that classic Kafka smile come through, bleeding from the eyes, everything. That smile is one of the first things we see once he regains control, and that makes me so happy to see that, because Kafka just has that anime shonen protagonist smile. It just makes people feel better. He does. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a fun chapter. There's a couple little disappointing things. The pacing was a little Kaiju number 80, which is to be expected because we're reading Kaiju number 8. That's fine. I'm getting used to it. I wish there was a little more detail in some of the chapters, but hey, it's hype, it's fun, it's battle manga. That's why I'm here. That's why I love it. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.